All right, welcome back to the part 3. Um, we have the wood grain on the blade now. Next I'm going to, I have a board that I'm going to lay on top of this so it gives me the correct width, because I'm going to do separate wood planks going across. You do not have to do that. You can just paint this as is too. That is fine. So I'm going to get the boards figured out where I want them, and then I'm also going to figure out where I'm going to have the line come down for my blue square on the flag. So the blue square will be somewhere around here. So I'll get all that figured out. Let's start. Let's start with the blue. Let's get that taken care of. Um, for the blue, I am going to be using just acrylics. I'm going to use cobalt hue and a little bit of warm brown. Just going to mix it so it's kind of dulls down the blue a little bit, so it looks like it's kind of oldish color looking, so it's not just a bright blue. I'm going to mix a little bit of that, and I'm going to put it in with some water, so it's maybe like a third water, so it's kind of runny, to where the point when I paint this on there, it's going to stay transparent enough to where you can still see the wood texture or the grains underneath. I don't want it to be opaque. I want it to be transparent. So that's all there is to that. I'm just going to mix those two together, add some water till I get it to where it's the right consistency, and then start painting on the blue. For the white, we are going to use just acrylic white paint, and we're going to mix in either a little bit of gold or a little bit of steel gray, whatever one you're feeling. Just I mix in a little bit just so it's not such a bright white, so it's more of a dull antiqued white. So I'm going to mix that up, and again with water, because we want it transparent. So I'm going to get all that mixed up into with the water, and then we'll start putting the white stripes on. For red, along with water, I'm going to be mixing in some flag red, which just seems appropriate for this. And I'll probably put in a little bit of barn red just to kind of make it so it's not such a bright red. So I'll mix that up, do the red, and we'll go on. I'm going to add a little bit of just the normal, so I'm going to do like maybe just like red, maybe a tiny bit of the barn red into it. No water this time. I'm going to try to get the look like if this was a painted like barn sign or something like that. Somebody who painted it before me, had thicker paint. So there's going to be some areas that are going to have some thick paint, and then the other spots will be, where it's been faded due to time or weathered or whatever. So that's going to be this look. But I'm going to add some of the thicker paint. Same with the white. I'm going to do the same thing with the white, maybe a little bit of gold or gray, and then make that thicker so it's more opaque, and then along with the blue. So I'm going to make the opaque part of it, and then we'll get on to the next part. Alright, so now we have a little bit of an opaque layer with the colors. Now we can do some sanding look to it. So anything that you've seen that's ever looked rustic, if you paint something, a piece of furniture, and you want it to look rustic, first thing you're going to want to do is probably sand it a little bit, give it that little bit of a weathered look. We can do that with I usually just take a Q-tip, a little bit of water, rub it on a little spot that you want to remove the paint, and it should go away, and we should be left with seeing some of the grays below. So let's give that a shot. I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what it looks like, and then you can do that anywhere you want that you'd like to kind of give it a sanded look. Alright, let's I'm going to get a Q-tip here, get it a little bit wet, and let's just there, see how that kind of brings out the dark gray below it. Yeah, so it looks like this paint's either been scratched away or sanded or something, you know, weathered of some sort. So now I'm going to do that in different spots in all the colors and try to bring out some of the gray, make it look even a little bit more weathered and rustic. Alright, it's time to put some stars on this bad boy. Alright, so you just get a template or some sort of object that you want for the size of the circle. Maybe you want your circle to be smaller. That's fine, you can do that. I'm going to go, found a lid from a bowl. So that's going to be the size of my circle. And then I just go on the computer, find a clip art of some stars, size it to where I want it. So here's going to be the size of the stars I'm going to put on there. And then I take something and measure from the width of the star. So this is close to the width of the star. So now all I'm going to do is place my little template, make a mark on this side of it, make a mark on this side of it, staying close to the circle. I have my little dots for where my stars are going to be. Take your template, and I usually go, obviously your star is going to be like that. I put the dot right on that edge of the star and go through and make all your stars. Just kind of pencil them in lightly, and then I'm gonna go through and I'm going to paint on it with some the same color that we use for the white, so white with a little bit of gray or a little bit of gold. Okay, now I'm going to put my black lines, kind of just showing more emphasis on the boards. So I'm going to come through here, through the star. I'm going to use my airbrush and some opaque black. I'm going to use these to kind of get a nice solid line, and then I'll go back through once that's done and just kind of fuzz out that, so it's just not one skinny black line, so it's kind of a fuzzed out line, and then we can clear coat. Alright, there we go. Black lines dividing up the boards are in. If you don't have an airbrush, you can still just take a brush and just brush in a black line. That's all you really need to do. It doesn't have to be faded like mine. But that's what you've got so far. We'll clear coat it, and then we're done. You've got a rustic looking flag pattern on a saw. Clear coat is done. I just did a clear matte finish, same clear coat that I used on the gray, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.